Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is NURUL and BINTI BAHRIN. Now I will present my problem-based task in computer network security. So, part 1 is prepare the virtual environment. 1. Launch the Oracle VirtualBox. And then, in the CyberOps workstation window, verify that the network set to the internal network. Go to machine and then setting. Under the network, there is a adapter and then change the under attached to. Select internal network and the drop-down menu. Next to the name, select inside and then click OK. So step 3. Launch and log into CyberOps workstation, Kali, Metasploitable and Security Onion virtual machine. So this is CyberOps workstation. This one is Metasploitable. This one Security Onion and last is Kali. 4. In the CyberOps workstation VM, open a terminal and configure the network by executing the configure _as_static.sh script. Before that, change the configuring the NIC as IP address 209.165.232. And in the CyberOps workstation, run command ls-al to list all the files. So then, as you can see, there is a file configure_as_static.sh. To open the file, use the command sudo nano configure as_static.sh. Then enter the password for the analyst. After that, we will go to the text file and we can change the IP and the gateway based on the requirement. Run command sudo /lab.support.file/scripts/configure as_static.sh to see whether the IP configuration is successful. As you can see here, the IP and the gateway has been changed. Part 2. Reconnaissance. In the Metasploit virtual machine, open a terminal and configure the network by executing the NIC as IP address 209.165.200.234 and the gateway 209.165.200.226. So in the Metasploit, run command sudo if config eth0.209.165.200.235 to configure the network by the required IP address. And then run command if config to see if the change has been made. Next, to change the gateway, run command sudo root at default gateway 209.165.200.226 eth0 and then run command root -n to see if the gateway has been changed. As you can see here, the gateway has been changed to the requirement. In the Kali virtual machine, open the terminal and configure the network by executing the NIC as Kali. Run if config eth0.209.165.200.235 to configure the network. Then run command if config, and as you can see, the IP address have been changed. To change the gateway, same as the Metasploit, run command root at default gateway 209.165.200.226 eth0. Then run command root 0n and the gateway, as you can see, has been changed. Next is part 3, exploitation. So, using nmet option, I will use a script to test for an FTP vulnerability on the Metasploitable at 209.165.200.234, and I will determine that I can gain a root access to the Metasploit. Now, I will exploit the VSFTP vulnerability to gain the full control of the Metasploitable. I will compromise the /etc/shadow file so I can gain the access to other hosts in the network. Next, open terminal and Kali and then run command nmap 0o and the target IP address. 0o is a remote operating system detection using the TCP IP. So this is the list of the open port in the target. Next, run command nmap /sv-sas-p21-a and the IP target. The /sv is to determine the version. The /ss is the TCP SYN port scan, and the /p21 is for port scanning for the port 21, that is FTP. So the /a is to enable operating system detection, version detection, and the trace route. So after that, as you can see here, the port 21 which is in the state open using the service FTP is the VSFTPD version. So there is one host that active in the target. So next, in the terminal on the Kali virtual machine, enter the MSF console at the prompt to start the Metasploit framework. So in the same terminal, run command MSF console. So it will direct us to the Metasploit. So next, run command VSF TPD to search for the module that is associated with the VSF TPD 2.3.4 backdoor. So I will use this module for exploitation. So run command search VSFTPD, and this is the module for the exploitation. And then after the exploit has been found, enter the following command at the prompt. Use VSTP backdoor exploit. So use exploit Unix FTP VSFTPD underscore true T4 underscore backdoor. Then it will direct to the exploit prompt. So next, in the exploit prompt, set the target host to the Metasploit. So the target, set the target by using command set rhost 209.165.200 So number 5, verify the exploit setup by enter the show options command. And as you can see, this is the exploit setup. Next, at the prompt, enter the exploit command to execute the exploit. So I start exploit by run command exploit. This enter the Metasploit framework terminal, and you know how to access to the Metasploitable from Kali host. Notice that there is no system prompt presented. To verify that you have the root access to the Metasploit, enter who am I. Then I enter the who am I, which show that I'm at the root, and enter hostname, which show the hostname is Metasploitable. So question 8, what is the current username? Is root. What is the hostname? Is Metasploitable. So number 10, to check IP Metasploit, run command if config, and then it can show the IP address in the Metasploit. So next, to gain the full control of the Metasploit, begin by displaying the content of the /etc/shadow file. The etc shadow file stores the password information in an encrypted format for the system account along with optional edging information. So run command cat to open the file of etc shadow that contain the password with an encrypted format. So next, highlight the content in the etc shadow and copy. Then create a new text editor by using command nano /root/shadow.txt. Then paste or right click at the blank space in the nano and select paste. After you have pasted the content, remove any blank lines at the bottom if necessary. Then enter Ctrl X to save and exit nano. And then press Y when asked to save the file and accept the file name shadow.txt. The save /root/shadow text file will be used later in the step with the John the Ripper to crack the password of some of the login names so you can access the name. So you can access the system remotely via SSH. So this is the file that we paste and then save it to use it later with the John the Ripper. Next, return to the Metasploit framework terminal on the Kali. Now I will add my new username, my root/in to Metasploitable virtual machine. So this user will have the same password configuration as root. So when creating the new user, you will use the same 9 field as the root user, except you will delete the encrypted password associated with the root user and leave the password field empty. When the password field is empty, no password is needed to log in as the user my root. Your name. The echo command will append to a new line to add a new user my root to the etc shadow file. So then I run command echo my name and the format. After that my name will be on the list of the etc/shadow file. So to allow my root to log in with the elevated privilege, you will add the user my root with the same user ID. So to allow my root to log in with elevated privilege, you will add the user my root with the same user ID, UID, user group ID, GID, user description, user home directory, and login shell as the root to the etc passwd file. So the colon separate the field that the X in the second field represent the password for the user. The encrypted password can be found in the etc shadow group root for file the same user. Return to the Metasploit remote connection terminal window and enter the cat command to see the information for root. Now, I will use the following echo command to append the setting for my root your name to etc password. So, in Metasploit terminal, run command cat/etc/password, and then run command echo in and the format to etc password. Then my name with password has already been added to the etc password file. So last is part 4, that is infiltration. In this part, I will crack the password using the John Ripper. John the Ripper is a tool used to find a weak password of user. In this step, I will use John the Ripper to crack weak password. So, from the Kali virtual machine root prompt, verify that the shadow file is in the root folder on the Kali. So, in the terminal, I run command ls to list all the files in the root folder. As you can see, there is the shadow.txt. So, I run command cat shadow to open the text file. So, I run command cat shadow and it will show the content in the text file. So, at the root prompt on Kali virtual machine, enter the join command to crack the password. Use the show option to view cracked password reliably. Note that the password cybercop was added to the user/share/john/password lst file to speed up the password cracking process. So next, I will run the command john shadow to start cracking the password. After that, as you can see, after I run command john/show the root shadow.txt, there show that there is password for analyst and my username. And then after the password cyberops was added to the user share john password.lst file to speed up the password cracking process, use command cat to open the file. And then I use command cat/user/share/john/password.lst to list all the password contained in the folder. And as you can see, there is password cyberops at the end of the list. And then in this step, I will use different commands to find the IP address of a possible host on the internal network behind the DMZ. So establish an SSH session to the metasploitable VM, and then enter yes to accept the RSA digital signature when connecting for the first time. Connection may take a few moments, and then enter the cyberop as the password when prompted. And then I run command ssh analyst at 209.165.200.234, and then it will ask to insert the password. After that, I insert the password cyberops, and I finally in the analyst metasploitable. Finally, to verify that I have the root access to the metasploitable, I will enter the SUL my root at the prompt, and then I will display the etc shadow file. After I enter the SU/-LIN, as you can see here, the prompt has changed to the root at metasploitable. Display the etc shadow by using the command cat, and as you can see here, my name is already in the list. So in the conclusion, I have learned a new knowledge and a lot of information about how to use a metasploit, how to do the reconnaissance and exploitation. So in this software, by using the vulnerability of IP address as a target to attack so that they can give any access and privilege. And then in this class also, I learned how to crack password using John the Ripper. So